Welcome to the Free Game Don D podcast, life, family, and business. Yeah, listen, man. Today I have my friend on, Coach Carter, who is the owner of Train Fit Strength and Athletics Performance Center, located here in Augusta, Georgia, CSRA. And we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship from the standpoint of how has the struggle of entrepreneurship shaped him, and so we're going to kind of be talking about some of that. He's a business owner of a performance center. He's doing exceptionally well. But I think what really struck me was I saw a post by Shanta Jackson, and it was so moving. She said, watching somebody go from training people out of a shed in the backyard to now him and his wife running one of the best performance centers in the CSRA has been hard not to respect. I've watched him partner with other trainers, help build their brands while still building his own, and never stop pouring into people along the way. Started as my trainer, turned into family, more than a trainer or a coach, just a genuine person who's impacted a lot of people for the better. Proud is an understatement. And I think that I love that so much because I think that a lot of times when you're on your journey of entrepreneurship, people will see you grow and prosper and won't say a word. And that's why one time I said something on social media. I said, if I catch you winning, I'm going to tell somebody. If I catch you winning, I'm going to tell somebody. And to me, your real friends do that. Your real friends, your real family members, I ain't talking about people that got your same last damn name, but your real friends and your real family members, when they see what you've gone through and what you've built, they can't wait to share it. So that's why I say, if I catch you winning, and shout out to Shanta Jackson because she caught you winning. She caught you winning. And she couldn't wait to tell somebody. Yes. And I loved it, man. So let's talk about your journey a little bit here, Coach Carter, entrepreneurship.
Oh man, like she said, I've been in this game now for 16 years. I started out in a shed. Before I was in a shed, I was in a garage. I was jumping from facility to facility, just getting my skills up. You know what I'm saying? Learning the craft and everything. But yeah, I started out in a shed, a small one room, half working bathroom, back and in the backyard. And just went from there to just continue growing, continue building my brand, continue bringing my clientele, continue just growing as a trainer, growing as a coach. And I promise you, I never thought that from there I would be here. I never would have thought that. I promise you.
Yeah, I know what we're talking about. Like humble. That's the thing about you. You're super humble, and we talk about humble beginnings. Even Shanta Jackson's post, which referenced that when you talk about the shed. But one thing I say about you, it's not the beginning, but you're definitely still humble, and I love that about you. I mean, she talked about how basically like you were working with other people, partnering with them, building their brand, but also along the way building your own. But some people can't do both. Some people don't know how to, to do that. Like when they'll partner with somebody and then they'll be doing their own thing, just only focusing on what they want to build, not understanding the connection of, hey, let me help them build. And in the process, it's going to also build me. Everybody doesn't understand that. I've had people I partnered with in business who couldn't understand how they need to edify the people who paved the way for them. Right. They wanted to edify themselves. Right. And they didn't understand the process of building something long lasting and building a really successful business. You have to show respect to the people that gave you an opportunity, because without them, you wouldn't even be here. Yes. So you can do all the talking that you want to talk about who you think you are. Someone else saw something in you and gave you an opportunity and a platform. And I love the way how she talked about that. Like you partnered with folks, you built their brand, but you built your own brand and poured into all these folks along the way. So when I look at what you built now, because I remember when we first opened up the facility, I was like, man, okay. I was proud of you because I already knew. I was. I already knew. And then a year later, I'm just like, man, dude, you putting it all right back in the business, man. And I just love that for you. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're right. Every opportunity is a learning experience wherever you're at. You have to take the time to try to learn wherever I guess God put you, and you're there for a reason. So you might as well learn and soak up as much knowledge and experience as you can. I was the manager over at a Juggernaut Fitness, and while I was there, I was just behind the scenes learning and taking notes and watching and seeing how the owner Corey Bonds there was just running stuff and how all the steps he made and to get from one building from him he was at a smaller building. We both started together at I3 Sports and Performance. Then he went from a smaller building on Peach Orchard to another bigger size building in Grovetown to a huge building right off of Wheeler Road. So he went from one spot to another spot to another spot and just kept growing and adding more equipment. There was times where he had to purchase equipment, had to sell equipment in order to purchase more or to build in another area that was going to benefit him in the future. So I've learned all those tricks and those trades and stuff from him, and just how to continue just growing and building and stuff like that, because all of that is benefiting me right now, every last bit.
No, I love all that, because you talk a lot about how in the beginning you was behind the scenes, and I'm not sure people really understand, like, that's very intentional. Some people don't understand how to be intentional. Like, we know you want to build something for yourself, then sometimes you may take less, you may take nothing to just be behind the scenes somewhere else to learn from other people and watch how they move. And so I love that for you, man. We were talking, man, I love how you said everything we said we was going to do, we've done, and we're still doing. And speak to that, man. Because listen, I felt a little umped in that, like, you know what I'm saying?
And I tried my best not to be that person at all, but sometimes you just have to let it be known that I guess you could say you are intentional in what you do. So yeah, everything that me and my wife, Sandra, love you, babe, everything that we planned to do, we've actually done it. From the equipment we're trying to get into the facility, the painting and the indoor, everything we were trying to do inside to uplift how it looks inside, we've done it. Building our clientele, building our membership, getting the security system we need, the door access system that we need, so that it could be self-sufficient and runs in a sense on its own. Because those 16, 18-hour days were getting taxing. They were getting taxing. So everything we said we was going to do, all the steps we made, all the equipment we said we was going to do, all the different projects we put forth to make it done, to bringing in trainers that we could trust, bringing in trainers and coaches that will help us also build the brand and the gym and everything. We've done everything we said we was going to do. Continue building the classes that we want, continue building just the spotlight in the sense that the facility needs and everything. By bringing the right people around, we've done all that. So and we're still building, we're still doing all those things. We're nowhere near where we want to be, but we're in the right direction, definitely.
No, listen, I love all of that, man. I think business owners sometimes build something and then they turn it into a job.
Right.
And then they grow to hate it. There's a book by Dan Martell called Buy Back Your Time. And it talks about how you need to be careful that you don't build a business that you grow to hate. And when we were talking, you brought up self-sufficiency. Like, man, I built something where people can just come in the gym anytime. They just scan their barcode, they come in. Now, that's real business. People they think they understand business, but they really don't. If you have to do everything, you don't have a business, you have a job.
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, that's a part of the process. But at some point, you need to invest into that till you have something that's more self-sufficient, it's more self-sustaining, and that cost you guys a tremendous amount. It was expensive,
yes,
and just finances, time, sweat, equity, all of that. But I love that for you guys because you guys understood, like you understood the assignment. The assignment is I can't be here 18 hours a day. I can't. So I'm gonna have to build this up to the point that it's self-sufficient, that people can come in here and work out, leave. They can just come in and out or whatever. We got a security system. We have it all set up to be self-sufficient. I love that for you guys.
That goes back into what you said a second ago. That had to be done in order to not grow this thing. It had to be done because being there, we're open 7 days a week. That means that every single day somebody has to go down there to open up and close up. If it's not me, it's the wife. She does it on her way back from her 9 to 5 or going. Or on days I got to get them to do it. If I'm sick or not feeling well, it doesn't matter. Somebody still got to go open up. Somebody got to still go close up. And now, and eventually, that was gonna weigh heavy on us, and then we're gonna grow to be like, man, is all this even worth it now?
Right.
I mean, that we seem like we just doing not even twice as much hard work or 3 times. It's just like it just quadrupled the amount of work and everything. So that had to been done. So now we could sit back and enjoy, get some rest more, and start enjoying what we want to do. And now we have the mind that we could focus on other areas because we're not as frustrated and as tired. Because when you get frustrated and you're tired behind that, you don't even focus on the other areas that you need to focus on because you still stuck on, I got to get up in the morning this early. Oh my goodness, my first client until 8 o'clock, but we open at 5. So what you do at that point is now be like, you know what? I'm just gonna shorten my hours, but now you shorten your hours and everything, and so you're taking away from the I guess you could say the plan that you originally had and everything. So, and then once you start minimizing and cutting all the corners off the plan you have, then you're gonna start being like, man, you know what, this ain't working out the way we thought it was gonna work out. So that had been done.
Listen, I think most people get out of business or give up on entrepreneurship because of what you just described.
Yeah.
At some point, it becomes a burden.
It does.
Right?
Yes.
Because you're talking about like your wife working her, shout out to Shonda, working her 9 to 5, but then coming by the gym, you being in there, 18 hours a day. At some point, you're gonna hit burnout. It's just gonna happen.
She could know I'd be dead tired, and she just got off from work, and I'm like, man, I gotta go back there and close up. She's like, nope, I got it. And she'll go jump in the car and she'll just drove right by it. She just drove by it. But I was probably sleeping and I didn't let her know, like, oh, I forgot to lock up so she could pass by there. But she'll come home, she'll see it, she'll jump back in the car and go back just to lock up or open up or whatever the case may be and stuff like that. So yeah, trust me, this is helpful on both of us because now on a Sunday I could sleep in. And I get up, I go to church, I hit church around 10, or I either go to 10 or 11:30 service or whatever, and I could just sleep in. They're like, oh, all I got to do is get up. I ain't got to go way down there, come back, then go to church and everything. I can just get up and go, oh, wow.
Yes.
You understand? It's like I wake up and I just look at the ceiling and be like, yes, this is where I want it, right here. I'm good right now. I'm happy.
But you know what? The thing that I like the most about what you said, people sometimes when they think about freedom and being in business, they don't understand that there's a cost associated with it. Yes. But I love the fact that how you talked about how because in the beginning you have to give. In the beginning you're gonna be everything to the business. So I don't want anyone to misconstrue what we're saying here. In the beginning, you need to be everything to the business, but the goal, the intention, you have to have intentionality behind everything you're doing is to build something that is somewhat self-sustaining, right. And get some of your time back and focus on the things that you got to focus on. So I know you're a great trainer. You might be like, well, listen, I don't want to be in this gym 24/7 doing just menial tasks. Let me focus on what I had to focus on to help the business grow. Right. And help it explode. But I can't do that if I'm in there doing day-to-day tasks. Right. So if I get other folks to help me, you talk about trainers, people that have helped you grow your business, that's important. I mean, them being affiliated in any type of way, you've had competitions there, all this stuff that people may look at and be, oh man, it costs too much to do that. No. This is an investment. When you're in business, it's not a cost, it's an investment. Yes. And those investments are paying off for you. And that's what I love about what I'm seeing you do here, because because this is a entrepreneurship 101 class that you're teaching with your business, and I think people would do well to pay close attention to it.
I never thought about it that way, but I guess it would be. It would be, yes, because you have to, in order for it to get to the point where you want to be, that it in a sense it takes care of you. You have to take care of it first, and you have to pour everything into it. Everything you have has to go into it in a sense, so that it can return the investment, return, and in a sense your business can return the favor down the road. Because if not, then what are you doing? You're pretty much wasted everything you've done to that point if you're not going to pour everything you have into it, and then it's just going to fall flat, and then you're going to live with those regrets forever. Forever.
I think sometimes people may get caught up in the margins, meaning that like, oh, I can't afford to hire this person or to partner with this person because that's going to cut into my margins. But in business, you have to focus more so on long-term strategy, and you've done that. One thing I know about you, you're a partner with. If it's going to help the business, Bruce ain't worried about the margins. Now that also comes from Bruce being smart. I always tell people, don't do your job, use your job. So you, former military, your wife has a phenomenal job. So you guys have put a lot into this and continue to put into this. So it's not like you have to turn a profit. Actually, was you profitable? Which I already knew the answer. But you're not quite profitable, yes. But people that don't know business would probably think, man, these guys are doing well. They're doing great. Look at this building. But this is an investment. You know what I'm saying? The return will come years later. You know what I'm saying? But right now, you're building something that people can come and be proud of. Aesthetics matter. When you go to a gym, they want to go to a gym that they feel it feels a certain way, or whatever. Every time when I walk down, I was like, man, he's not playing around. Aesthetics and all this kind of stuff, people don't think it matters, but it actually does, especially when you ask people to come out of their pocket and pay. So shout out to you guys for that investment.
Yeah, it's going to take some time and everything. I know that, for it all to turn back around and everything for us. We had a meeting the other day at the gym with the trainers and everything and the coaches, and pretty much told them the same thing, that what we're trying to do here is something big, and you're all going to be a part of it when we get to that point, as we're growing through the whole process. Not only of y'all are going to be learning and you're going to be seeing all the steps that we're taking, because just like somebody did for me, I want to be able to do for each one of them, and I want them to be able to have their own place and everything too. And when they have their own place, I'm going to be right there screaming, shouting, cheering, and everything on, telling them, hey, still being a counselor, I guess you could say, or whatever it is I could be, so they could continue growing and building. And to me, why that is so important, I say it all the time with a lot of the coaches, Augusta is loaded with athletic talent. Loaded with, it don't matter if it's basketball, baseball, football, don't matter what it is, we are loaded with talent. And for some odd reason, Augusta gets looked over more than just about any other city in Georgia. We get looked over more than what's that town way down there? I'm not even sure, but Savannah, of course, Atlanta, Valdosta. That's what I'm thinking of. Valdosta gets more eyes than Augusta. It's the size of Augusta, and to me, it doesn't make sense. So yeah, I'm gonna do everything I can. My goal, the biggest goal I have is do everything I can to get more eyes and attention. Not only just growing this performance center, but giving these athletes a home they could always continue going better, and even having schools and recruiting and scouts and a place that they could say, I'm gonna stop by the performance center and see what they got going on over there. That right there is probably the most ultimate goal, is just having that happen one time. A coach from Georgia Tech or whoever that says, I'm going to go and stop by the performance center out there in Augusta, talk to the owner there, see what's going on over there and stuff like that. Not always technically saying, I'm going to go to the schools and stuff like that, which, yes, that's still going to be an avenue too, but I would like for one time they could say, I'm going to go down to the performance center and see what's going on down there, seeing these athletes. So they might be looking at a particular athlete, just want to see how he's working in the off season. You know what I'm saying? That's great. That's big.
But even with that though, like how many people that own privately owned gyms here in Augusta are thinking like that? Like I'm just sitting there just taking this in. Like no disrespect to any other privately owned gyms here, but and maybe they do have the same mindset. I don't know, but I'm listening to your mindset and just the intentionality behind everything you're doing. You're like, man, I want
people to really understand this, and I promise you, I'm not fronting, I'm not putting on or anything like that. I'm lying. Let God take me right now. I do this for the athletes. I swear on everything. I want to see each one of them just. You understand? It's hard when you got athletes that's come in, and I know some of the coaches could see this, that these athletes really want it. You got some that just they want the hype and the glory and that stuff like that. But you got some athletes that day in and day out, they really want it. They want it bad, and I want to help them get to wherever. It don't matter if it's JUCO, D1, D2, D3. They go to college. They get to go to college for free. Hey, we won. We won. Take that win, you know, and you could grow and everything from there. But that is really, really, really what I want more than anything. There's other big goals that we have too, and maybe we'll talk about stuff like that. There's other goals that we have, but yeah, that's definitely it.
Now, listen, man. I also like how you talked about you're the second black privately owned gym here in Augusta. So it's just you and one other person. So so how has that how does that spark you or motivate you?
Well, we are the second privately owned membership gym in Augusta. Membership. There's other gyms and fitness studios and stuff like that. But as far as membership gyms, that people has a membership, they could come and work out anytime, like a Goals or and a Max Fitness or anything like that. Yeah, we are the second.
Hold up a second, because that's the thing I love. I love when business owners make that distinction.
Yeah.
This is because you got to have recurring revenue.
Yes.
So this is, man. Listen, man, boy. Hey, you cooking over here. I hope people listening, man. Like, hey, no, this ain't just a popping in gym. No, they got it's recurring membership here.
Yes.
Oh, yes. I love that. Go ahead.
Yes. Yeah, and they could, just like any other gym, you could sign up for a year membership, but I also get options. If you don't want to do a year membership, you could do a 6-month membership and everything too. So just like other gyms, but I just give a little bit more options and everything, not just the 12 months like most other gyms do. We have a 6-month membership too. But we are the second behind Juggernaut being the first. We are the second behind that, and I take great. It just brings me joy. It really does. Yeah. It brings me joy. It makes me feel really good about what I'm doing, where we're going, and stuff like that. I even provide membership for the athletes too. So it's not just adults and everything. The athletes have a membership program and everything too. If they want to just come work in and come get some work and everything in too, they could. Come on down, athletes. I got a membership for y'all too. Yes.
So let me ask you this too, man. Changing gears just a tad bit, man. Like, what has been one of your biggest investments as an entrepreneur in building a very successful business right now? So, what has been your biggest investment and your best investment? Let me say that. What's been your best investment?
That wife of mine. That wife of mine, without a shadow of a doubt, that wife of mine, because it was that wife of mine who found this building. It was that wife of mine who said we could do it. It was that wife of mine who convinced me to not be afraid to take them steps forward and do it. It was that wife of mine that helped come up with the plans, to help invest the money. It was her that made me feel comfortable and not afraid. Because even though when I was going through my fears and afraid, it was her that just be like, how's she doing her nonchalant way? And a lot of people out there know it, be like, we'll all right. We'll make it. I'm like, what? We'll be all right. We'll make it. Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. We figured everything else out. Why won't we figure that out? I'm like, yeah, but I mean, I know, but Yeah, we'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. And that is the reason. She's my I take care of her. The business is gonna be just fine. I know that. I know that. So
I know things are definitely a lot smoother now. Now you got a self-sufficient, gym. This, membership. Only people can scan and get in and things of this nature. But I want to ask you, like, how has the overall struggle of entrepreneurship and what you and your wife have had to endure, how has that shaped y'all?
Well, the first thing is we watch all our pennies. Pennies everywhere matter. Pennies in my car, pennies in a little ashtray, pennies at the house. When it comes to the bills at the house, everything, pennies, gas, which, oh Lord, but pennies everywhere matters. So we watch all our cents. We watch where everything goes to. Moving money around counts. If you never understood moving money around different counts, you'll definitely understand it then. You thought you was good. You put money in the savings in February. By March 15th, you got to move it out and move it to account A. Then by April 1st, you got to move the rest of that to account B. Then move it back to the savings just to take it back out 3 days later. Moving money and just watching everything you spend, what you spending things on. You go into the store and you say to yourself, you know what, man, I'm about to get me a Gatorade. And you thought to yourself, man, I got some water in the house, man. Let me go home let me go and put some Crystal Light or whatever in there.
Crystal Light.
I bought it back.
Okay.
And put some Crystal Light in the water I got in the house and drink that and just be happy with that. So,
I got to cut you off real quick because you talk about the pennies, man, and I think people that are starting businesses may not understand like what is required. You said pennies matter. Where all my money? Basically, you're saying where all the money going actually matters, especially when you're building something. Mm-hmm. And I've always said this. I said, money is a horrible master, but a great slave. Yes. And if you can tell your money where to go, then you can build something extraordinary like what you built. So just people may think that that's extreme. Watching all the pennies. No, I mean he's saying that figuratively, but actually literally as well. Like, I have to watch every single dollar because I'm building something. And sometimes I may have money in the business account or whatever, but I got to pull money from someplace else because I may have thought I've had enough to cover certain things. Correct. And, stuff happens. I still got to run a business, so I got to move stuff around. And every entrepreneur that's in the early stages or build something great, they understand what that looks like, man. So shout out to you for sharing that.
Yeah. Checks and balances too, because I say that because it might be a piece of equipment that I want to get. I'm like, man, I want to get this. We need this and everything. I need this. And then here come the money mature one, the wife would be like, no, we can't spend another dime on nothing right now until this and this happens. And I'd be like, yeah. Cause I'll get excited, be like, yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. She'd be like, no, I ain't forget. So we need to take care of this, and this before we even do anything else. And once she gave, it was like just a couple of weeks ago, she gave me a stir. Don't spend another dime on anything until this gets taken care of. And I said, I was like, talking to. But then I thought to myself, like, okay. Right after I said that, who are you talking to? Like, all right, we're going to go. All right, okay. Because she was right. She was 1,000% right.
Well, not even just that. I think that every business has to, especially with you being a husband and a wife. Me and my wife are similar to that. Like, she would probably say I'm the money guy. Mm-hmm. So the money guy, or in your case, girl, woman, right. In the business, if it's a husband and wife situation, I mean, that person is projecting, like they're in charge of projections, right. And they see what we have. They also are looking at the budget for the whole year. Mm-hmm. Like, so yeah, we may want certain things, but that's not in the budget because we have other things to cover. Not to mention that when you're running a business, you got to have expenses for the stuff that might pop up, right. that we didn't account for. So yeah, we want this equipment, but the equipment we currently have is fine. Mm-hmm. So when we have excess, then we can make that purchase. But right now, it's just not a sound purchase. So I like you talk about checks and balances, because if the CEO of the business doesn't have anyone to check and balance him or her,
Right.
they'll be doing things that they shouldn't be doing, and they're out of business. And every time a business goes out of business, it's always money.
It's always
People can say what they want to say. It's always money. It's 100% of the time. It's money management, how money was managed, how money was mismanaged. It always comes down to money. So having your wife being shout out to Chandra, just being there to make sure that there's a checks and balances, to make sure that things are being done smart. You know what I'm saying? So,
I do not want to get one of them text messages. And that text, you could just tell by the tone of the text message how stern it is. It don't even be loud.
Give me an example, man. Give me an example of what a text would look like.
And everything. It'll be just out of the blue. I'll be with one of my clients I'll be training, and it'll be at 10:47 a.m. Just freshly, just 10:47. It'd be like, don't spend that money on nothing else. Keep that money right in the account. We have this to be, this and this to do. It'll be short and sweet, just like that. And I'd be like, no pleasantry, no. Don't touch, we got, bam, end, period, send. And I'll look at it like, in my head, I'm thinking,
who you talking to?
I'm grown. And then I'll reply back, yes, ma'am. Every single time you reply back, yes, ma'am.
You about to make me get into something else here, man, because that was, you sound like my wife, because I would tell her, like, hey, we have to do X, Y, and Z. And she would look at me like, like low key, like, who you talking to?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? Because, she's a New Yorker. So yeah, man. But I was projecting certain things. I knew what had to be done, and shout out to her for trusting me.
Yeah.
But I just felt like when you were talking like this, I've heard that before. I've kind of felt that kind of energy before.
Yeah.
But I will tell you this: shout out to you, because there's a book by Carol Dweck, and it's called Mindset. And it talks about people who have a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Right. So a fixed mindset business owner would not have been able to take that type of critique from his business partner, because she's your wife, but in this moment, she's your business partner. I'm not your wife. I'm not Miss Carter in this moment.
Right.
I am Chandra Carter, co-owner of this gym, and I'm telling you that we don't have the money for X, Y, and Z. Yep. But you have to have a growth mindset to receive that. Yeah. If your mindset is fixed, like, hey, you're my wife, don't talk to me like, wait, it's not about that. Like, we're way beyond that. We're running a business now. So there's Chandra Carter, co-owner of the gym, and then there's Chandra Carter, your wife. These are two different people. Right. And you have to learn how to, you have to know when you're talking to the wife and when you're talking to the co-owner of the business. And I know me and my wife had to deal with that. I mean, that was something, she had to deal with it. So she had to figure it out.
Well, yeah, that is one way of how the business changed me. The other way how the business changed me, changed me completely, was, and my entire life, and I guess that's what helped me always stay humble, I guess, in a sense. I've always believed I was not worthy of anything. I was not worthy of anything. I didn't deserve anything. I was not good enough to have anything that was good. Mm-hmm. Of my entire, ever since waddling, whatever the case may be, I am, how am I now, 49? Yeah. I'm 49 years old. And for 49 years, I've always believed that if it's bad, it's going to happen to me. Always. Having this business finally opened me up to believing that I am actually worthy of anything good. That I've even when my wife said, we could do this, while she's telling me that, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, we can't. We can't, because it's something good. It's something that's going to be great. It's something that's going to be positive. So therefore, we can't, because anything that starts off even an increment of being positive quickly turns into something negative, as my whole life experience. So it has changed my mind to really believe that, and I'm doing so great right now, yeah. Because I thought I would be in tears right now, so I'm so proud of myself. So I really I'm proud of the fact that I finally, my mindset has changed to believing that anything that I put forth and try to, not just business, but anything.
Come on now.
Not just business, but anything now that I want to do, I think that's positive, that's good, or that could benefit my own life or my family's life or our well-being. I'm no longer scared to take those steps to do it now. I feel positive now about it. It's not always negative thoughts and negative feelings, or just automatically saying that it's not going to come through. Like, if I was to do any application to, or any steps or procedures for just about anything, no matter what it is, whatever it took the steps of procedure or application towards to, my mind was already set to it's not going to go through before I even finish the paperwork. I just go through the process sometimes of doing it, almost like give myself false hopes, like, yeah, you got to try, but do you really believe it? No, but you ain't doing nothing right now. Let's give it a shot. That was always the attitude, in a sense. So that it has definitely changed my mind to that. So yeah, and I think that's helping me out, helping us out right now, to the point that everything, every project, every steps that we're making, every program I'm putting together right now, I have a different energy when I approach it now. I have a more positive energy. I have a more uplifting and enlightened energy that I almost will be like shocked if it doesn't pan out. Now it's total opposite. I'm like, what do you mean no? That's my attitude now. Like, what do you mean? Before it was like no. I'm like, oh, okay. And I walk out the building, I walk out the room like, yeah, I figured that.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's different.
Let me put this on to you, man. This is a book. This is an old book. I read it some time ago. Sorry. It's called The Energy Bus by John Gordon. Phenomenal book, man. And you have to protect your energy, because I'm going to be honest with you. When you think about your energy and the things you've told yourself internally, some of that could be, of course, things maybe childhood, things of this nature, but also it could be environment. Protect your environment, because sometimes you have energy vampires, and these people, when you call them with good news, or whatever, or I don't know who your circle is, but if you call somebody and then they have something negative to say, then that negativity transfers from them onto you sometimes. Right. So you got to, of course, be mindful of that. Now, as far as the way you think and the way we all think, none of us are really in control of, I know we talked about this earlier, we're not really in control of our thoughts. So there's a book by Gary Bishop, it's called Un-F, yourself. I won't say what that means, but Un-F Yourself by Gary Bishop. Phenomenal book, because it attacks the mindset that says basically we are our thoughts. And I think sometimes we get we beat ourselves up because we thinking, man, I feel like I am my thoughts, but you're not. You're your actions, because you don't control your thoughts. You can be the most positive person and something pops in your head, like some negative stuff, and you have to get it back out. But what did you do? Like you didn't think you could build this successful gym, this successful, business that you built, but you did it. You're not your thoughts. You are your actions. Correct. Your actions showed you that you could do it. You know what I'm saying? And it's funny. Now you figure, that's the thing about entrepreneurship. It doesn't just translate to business. It translates to anything. Yes. Because once I do this, I feel like I can do whatever.
I can do anything now. Everything is wide open and stuff like that. Yeah, that's exactly how I feel. So, yeah, correct.
Yeah. But that's weird, though, man. I don't think entrepreneurship is for everyone, but I think everyone should try it. Because if you ever even decide one day, okay, well, I'm going to get out, I'm going to sell this and go do something different, the lessons that you learn in entrepreneurship, like they're applicable to life. They're applicable to anything, and I think they make you stronger and they make you better, man. So shout out to you, man.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That was a big hurdle. You understand? To that was big. That was big. That stopped a lot of things I wanted to do and effort and stuff moving forward. That's why we're able to do. We got a lot of new things coming up and stuff like that. A lot of good plans and stuff we be putting together.
I love that. Because I think that's important because there's some people out here right now that have negative thoughts about something that they want to start. And I always tell people, do it anyway. Because you're not your thoughts, you're your actions. We all were our thoughts. We would all be in so much trouble, but a lot of times when the alarm clock goes up at 5 o'clock in the morning, my thought is I'm not going to get up. Sometimes I don't, but but I should. You know what I'm saying? But my actions, I'm not the thoughts. When I get up at 5 like I'm supposed to, I and go to the gym and do what I got to do, start my day like I am my actions. I'm not my thoughts, man. So, I really love that, man. Listen, anything else you want to leave us with, man, as it pertains to entrepreneurship and what you built?
Yeah, the wife, we just got approved for a nonprofit organization, and it's called CSRA Top Dog Performance, and we created that because a couple of years ago I had what I call a private invite with a lot of some of the top athletes in the city, and we put on a little event and everything for them when they were just a little competition, athletic event where they showed their athletic skills, their abilities and everything how they move. And when we did that, like I said, they competed against each other. They competed for a prize, which was a championship belt. Nothing major, but it was something that we just wanted, something I wanted to put together and do for them. Had a lot of athletes that showed up and everything for that. But then we thought about doing something on a bigger scale, that hold a bigger camp where we got a lot of athletes that always get travel outside the city. They go to Charlotte, they go to Tennessee, they go to Atlanta, they go down to Florida. They travel far to show their athletic abilities and skills, their time, their speed, their agility, for film, hopefully for some scouts or recruiters or whatever that's in the area that they could come by and show their abilities to. And my goal for my nonprofit is to be able to do the same thing here, that we could put on events right here in the city, because we sure enough have enough athletes to fill that whole venue up every single year. And at some point get maybe a coach from Alabama. It don't matter. Or from a small little school like Reinhardt that's right down the street, could come by and just check our kids out, give some advice, see where they could improve and help them at, or maybe just get them an offer on the spot. That is the goal, to build that up. So we are working towards that. The first step was getting the nonprofit and everything put together, and then we're going to build and everything with that. And then between that's one step. The business it's going to expand. Another step is my beautiful, wonderful wife, who's helped put that nonprofit together, is she just got her.
She's writing grants,
yeah,
right?
It's
a grant writer,
certification or whatever it is, but she just became a grant writer and everything also too. But so we have that going on and everything too. So we're like I said, once we got into the mindset of it's all possible, anything we want, as long as we want it and just go for it. Once we got that mindset situated, we started running at that point.
I love that.
We started running.
It's just amazing how many things start with mindset. I think people hear it so much that they don't think it's real, but it's very real.
Yeah.
And I mean, nice. So, you know what's funny, man? I got an invite for CSRA Top Dogs Performance, and I was like, I don't know what this is because this ain't my guy. So, but it was you. So I deleted it because I didn't know I didn't know what it was. I didn't know what that was. I mean, I thought about you. I said, that's just my boy. I said, no, this ain't him. So I'm glad you I'm glad you told me that because I didn't know that. So CSRA Top Dogs Performance, that's your nonprofit. And let me ask you this specifically, like what's the is the goal, like what's the specific goal of the nonprofit as it relates to, the kids and what you're doing?
The goal is to continue bringing awareness to the CSRA as far as with our athletes and everything. Continue bringing awareness, continue showcasing their talents, continue showcasing their abilities. It is tailored for the athletes. This nonprofit, so it's continue to helping them grow, and just becoming not the athletes or their dreams that they've had ever since they've been playing AAU ball, Pop One, or whatever it is to reach.
So yeah, and forgive me if I'm being ignorant as it pertains to 501c3s. So is this the funding aspect for them to go to these different places? So like you guys want to raise money,
right? So it's a couple things. It's to help raise money to help. Like I'm like in the beginning of June, I'm be heading out to Georgia Tech, even though it's not affiliated with the nonprofit yet. But like I'm taking a couple of kids down to the camp down in Georgia Tech that they have in June 1st and on June 4th. And that's coming out of my pocket because I'm either renting a van or we're jumping in the truck and we're just gonna ride down there. So that's gonna help with things like that, and also, like I said, to put on events, to help put together events so that these kids can not only come and show their abilities and show their abilities and what they could do, but also at the same time we're gonna reward these kids also at the same time that put on, that come and they show out. So to give back to them also too.
Man, you over here cooking, man. So basically, you got Train Fit Strength and Athletics Performance Center, which is your business.
Right.
But then you started a nonprofit to actually help support some of the things that these kids may need. The kids, I'm assuming, they don't have the funding to do some of these things, so you don't have to, always come out of pocket.
Yes.
So started a 501c3 in affiliation to some degree, with the business to help some of these kids. Man, that's fire, man. That's dope.
What I do with the Train Fit, with it, like I said, a private invite and everything I do. When I do that, sometimes I do like I'll hit the kids up and be like, hey, we're doing a private invite this Saturday. They understand the private invite is just a free workout, but it's an extreme free workout. It's a workout where they got to come work, and so they get to come to it. They don't have to pay a dime or anything to just come show up and everything. And and when I do that, I try to give out, the snacks, some of the drinks, things like that, for it and stuff like that. So that's,
No, that's dope. Yeah, that's super dope. Listen, Coach, where can people find you?
Well, our location is 415 Laney Walker Boulevard Extension, Augusta, Georgia, 30901. We're right off of Bobby Jones Expressway, close to Sandbar Ferry. They also can find me on IG at Train Fit the Pound. I had to think about that. Train Fit _ the Pound. That's my athletic page with most of my athletes. Or you can just go to Train Fit Strength and Athletics. That's my other IG page for my regular 9-to-5 fitness lovers and everything like that too. Or Train Fit Strength and Performance Center on Facebook also too.
Okay, all right. Oh, where can they find the nonprofit?
The nonprofit is the CSRA Top Dog Performance LLC.
And that's on Facebook and Instagram?
That's on Facebook. Now, we don't have an IG page yet. The wife's still working on that, but that's on Facebook.
Okay, all right. Guys, this is going to conclude the episode of Free Game Don D, Life, Family, and Business.